Welcome and hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me. I'm oh so grateful you've taken the time from your obviously busy schedule of watching cats play with strings, watching First Amendment audits, name and badge number, you weak sauce turd. Hey, it's Danny Deals. And this is not a First Amendment audit, guys. This is un poco mas. I don't need your ID. I don't need your name and badge number. I don't need anything from you. I'm not trying to sell you anything. Actually, I am trying to sell you my stock trading and investment course for plus size gentlemen, for portly gentlemen. Yes, you know it. You love it. It's the Tebadaki method. In order to buy the course, you have to be, as you know, a minimum of 18 stone. If you are 20 stone, you get the course at half price. If you're 22 stone, you in fact get free tuition of the course. You could probably teach me a thing or two. In fact, if you're 22 stone or more. Guys, I don't have a lot of energy. I don't have a lot of brain power. I don't have a lot of charm. I don't have a lot of charisma to share with you this evening, if you couldn't have guessed. So I'm going to go ahead and share what I can, which is my screen and my ideas. Writing an autobiography, of course, it's about all my experiences. You'll be able to buy it soon. I'll be self-publishing it, probably trying to give that piece of crap away. Hello and welcome, guys, by the way. Welcome and hello. Thank you for tuning in to Un Poco Mas. It's very exciting to have all of you here. I think there are like 3 of you. Let's Poco DVD. Let's do it. I like DVD's attitude. He just comes right in. He's like, he doesn't even know what's going on. He just gets to the party. He doesn't know anybody. I wish I was like, this is the life of the party. He's like, come on, let's Poco. Why not? I don't even know what we're talking about. Let's Poco. I'm game. Hey, you guys want to go? And he's like, yeah. Sam Darby. So it sounds like a hat or like a place that makes fried chicken down in Culver City. You guys been to the Sam Darby? Got Javier. What's going on, Javier? You're not first. Sam Darby, you're not first. DVD was first. He said, let's Poco. Get on it, guys. We got Low Country Loot and Pawn, our good friend. Our physician who also runs a pawn shop. We got Barbecue. I cook, eat like I'm 22, so I'll follow along. Brennan, right? We got Brennan from Step Brothers here. We got Rudolfo back. What's going on, Rudolfo? We got German Pound Cake. This show really ties the room together. We have the great Princess J, probably, kind of beautifies the audience, if you will. Lifts it up. Freshens it up. Just gives it that little something. That little intangible greatness that only comes from the effervescence and wonderfulness of the great Princess J. And we thank her for being here with us, both in the comments section and, in fact, in our lovely faux living room in our dilapidated 100-and-some-year-old Spanish cottage here at the beautiful beach where we live in gorgeous Imperial Beach down on the border with Tijuana. Oh, the sewage. It comes right in the window, guys. If you've ever been to Imperial Beach, it's a great place, but a little bit of pollution down there. Anyway, I digress, guys. Why am I coming to you? It's just, everybody can tell you the numbers. Everybody can tell you the move. Everybody can say, hey, just in this little move, stock's up 37%, even with the pullback. Everyone and their brother, any Tom, Dick, and Harry, any swinging dick, Joe Sixpack, your Uncle Fritz, I don't know, they can tell you today we made another higher high. And this is actually a bullish candle, guys. If you have to understand sort of daily momentum, but basically the fact that the candle opened here and closed here and made this long round trip and all the buying came back at the end of the day, I don't think retail wants to dump. Like I said in my description, if you bothered to read it, and you probably didn't because you're a bunch of lazy turds, you're just here for the fart jokes. And who could blame you? I like a good fart joke as much as the next guy, I'll tell you. But the point is, guys, this is a very bullish candle, in my opinion. You're making a higher high on the entire year on a red candle, on a red day. Fintech's getting dragged. Finturds are getting rolled. I think you had some negative. You had an insider sale, Kelly Kehoe, executive vice president, whatever the fuck. She sold 10,000 shares. I think she still has 160,000 shares. So I don't know. I don't see that as any big deal. I don't even know if it was like an elective sale, tax sale. It sounded like it was an elective sale. Usually, if it's just a tax thing, they don't really report those. But the point is, guys, if you look at the chart, a lot of the smart guys, a lot of the, I call myself the shartmaster, but the more legitimate analysts, the guys on TV, the chart masters, this pattern, this was an ascending wedge. So you have higher highs being made here, you have higher lows being made here, and the line of support is running steeper upwardly than the line of resistance. So it's a rising wedge, and they say that is always a bearish pattern. Now, of course, there are always exceptions that prove the rule, blah, blah, blah. But what they weren't counting on is coming into a breakout ER. What they weren't counting on, I don't think, is, and I say they, I don't know, nobody, whoever. But this golden cross, look at the way the stock reacted when it came across. This was, approximately the 10th of November. You see the 11th, huge green candle, and then the gap up. And I know there's other things going on to cause this. But then we see a very nice short-term upward trend appear here already that stays essentially on the trend line, give or take. Now, I would expect a little bit of pullback and consolidation. We saw this big gap up. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down here and plays a little bit. But ultimately, I think what's going to happen is this is all going to clear out. From here down to here everything was just selling off, from this SPAC mania. Everything was dropping. We all know what period we were in here. Everybody kind of thought the world was going to end. There was a euphoria that just, this was basically a fall, like the waterfall here, and then it just didn't stop. So I think once it clears out of all of these gaps and noise and resistance and all this stuff here, all that's left is a pump and dump. Sorry, guys. I didn't know I was in draw mode. I'm accidentally drawing things. I think it's going to pass this and get right back to where it was, meeting resistance here. And you could see heavy, heavy consolidation in this area. Below $14 makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, institutions were buying up there before. I mean, you can see in this pattern, you think if you're smart, you kind of see where this is going. You might think, hey, sorry, guys, my computer's fighting me here. But you might think, hey, I'm smart to buy in this area because idiots are buying up here, buying up here, buying up here. So if you look at the filings, a lot of smart money was buying back here. They were caught up in the euphoria too. And you see, the consolidation, the heavy volume coming in near the lows there. But then it just starts to fall off a cliff. Everything was falling off a cliff. Like I said, something like NEO went from, 65 to 3. So a stock going from 28 to 450, it sounds extreme. I mean, look at a stock like a Teladoc. I mean, some of these other stocks, some of these Cathie Wood stocks, these things have dropped 90+% of their value. So it's been a bloodbath like no other. But I think SoFi is going to recover to this area. But I think the resistance is this rectangle. I don't think there's any resistance here. I mean, you can argue there's a little bit of consolidation, but this is really the algo checking up. This is a lightning bolt pattern. This is a stagger step. I'm just not buying any of this. And I'm not buying the fact, all these analysts that are trying to sell you that this is a $6 and $7 stock. I think, no, it's not true. They should know better. I mean, I don't know how long you guys have been doing this, but I always have been aggressive. I just did a Tesla video. I said, I've owned Tesla damn near 10 years. Those people U-turners been talking about the stock just the last couple of years. These Johnny come latelys. They don't know the pain. If you want to get in on something real early, you're going to have to take some pain because you're ahead of the curve. And that's the whole idea. And that's fine. If you bought the lows, you did very, very well on SoFi, and you can outsmart the market makers. Now, what have market makers been doing with the stock? They've been covering, yes, but Are they naked short? What are the options telling us? It's kind of interesting because MaxPain is just getting obliterated. I mean, people selling covered calls have been, if you're selling puts on the run, obviously that's what you want to do. But MaxPain this week is 10, so that's kind of following the trend up. MaxPain after earnings, ominously, back to 950. Open interest, 80,000 puts at 9. And then volume just nutty coming in at 11 for next week. And then kind of again, ominously on the 8th, MaxPain falls to 9. And then on the 15th, MaxPain falls all the way to 8. So the smart money is betting this thing is going to sell off pretty dramatically. I mean, I don't know if it's all smart money. It could be contrarian returners. I guess there's not many retail bearish investors. Most retail investors are long investors, and if they don't believe in something, they just don't buy it. The vast majority of shorts are institutions, and they're hedging or they're just short of stock. But I guess returners will buy a put here and there, but I mean, just statistics say shorts are institutions. That's just a fact. You guys can look it up yourself. Wherever I've seen statistics on that, there's just not that many retail shorts, at least in the traditional sense of selling short. Anyway, your mileage. Why MMV on that, guys? Why MMV? I hate people in internet videos who use little abbreviations. TMI. This whole video is TMI. It's superfluous. It's unnecessary. It's excessive. And beyond that, it's just not very good. But anyway, guys, I don't really like to see that because, the option sellers are the dark lords of the universe, and they keep our mere mortar balls in a mason jar on their shelves in an office. And we just get to check them out for all skate. Reverse skate, all skate. I mean, it's scary that MaxPain is at 8, but this could be a lot of dead money. I mean, a lot of these options might have been purchased and probably were purchased before this run ever took place. So you see just a tremendous amount of puts at 5 and 6 and 7. You see them staggering. So this is all algo generated, this Burger King pattern, whatever you want to call this. And then the volume, telling a different story, much, much more bullish. Man, God, look at all these calls. I guess not that many contracts. I mean, 2,000 contracts at 11. Yeah, it's not too crazy. Okay. But I don't know. They're expecting it to sell off, and then by the 22nd, MaxPain back up to 9, and then 29th back up to 950. So this is what I was talking about the last couple of days. What I'm seeing with options, looks like it might sell off right after run up to the ER. Could be, this week the stock could definitely get up near 11, even higher. Sell off maybe 950, day or two after the ER, create some kind of FUD storm, a cloud of FUD that, smells bad. Sell off the stock, analysts get back. And you notice that pattern with SoFi. If they want to sell the stock off, they sort of create this story, create this quick narrative, and then other analysts, other experts kind of clear the air, respond, explain why it doesn't make sense. But the damage has already been done. You saw that, with the sell-off at New Year's, with the, Michael Perito with KBW. He's since been replaced by little Timmy Switzer, and he moved on to another job. But they're still spreading FUD actively. I mean, you look at Morgan Fudley coming in, trying to kill the rally, they're just not ready for the stock to run. They haven't accumulated their full position. I mean, their filings show they've been accumulating rapidly, or not rapidly, but accumulating steadily with a small dip since the stock went public, and they've accumulated, 15 million shares. But while they're accumulating, they're, publicly bashing the stock. But I'm sure when they want the stock to run, I would guess they'll change their tune. But that's not yet. I mean, I think all this will sort of sync up. I think Goldman will be the puppet master with their fingers up our deuce, if you will, running the show. And they're going to run this thing up, and they're not going to run it up to 1360, guys. They're going to go much, much higher. I mean, this is a stock that when it was doing nothing, when it was really worth not much, and there was a lot of concern with this, pandemic and student loan pause and all that, if this company was even going to go on existing. And before that, before any of that, the stock was doing almost no revenues. The company doing almost no revenues, just gone public, runs thrice up near 30. And now people are, saying it's all out of momentum at 10. But it's not out of momentum. The candles are telling you it's not out of momentum. The chart's telling you it's not out of momentum. It's still in a clear uptrend. It's a red candle today, and it made its highest price of the year. I mean, if I'm wrong about that, I take that back. I humbly apologize, but I don't think I'm wrong about that. Maybe I am. What was the date? What was the range today? I'm quite often wrong. So today's range was 1065, and then what's the yearly range? I don't see that here. Oh yeah, 52-week range, 1065. So exactly, guys. So this is the yearly high made today on a red day. And it didn't sell off that harshly, but it recovered. This is making this weird little tribal douche tattoo thing at the end, or weird pattern, sort of flock of seagulls pattern. I don't really know what this thing wants to do, but I think it's going to go higher tomorrow. That's my opinion. The whole market's looking green. Finturds have been red, so I think they're primed to run. I don't know how institutions aren't stabbing each other in the back and like shorting Upstart. I don't know what they're expecting on that year. Maybe they're going to pull a rabbit out of their hat. I just don't understand what's unique about these sort of lending companies, checkout companies. You generate installment loans, and they just made the, really important, I guess you call it a forward flow agreement. Much bigger company than Fortress. I forget which one. So, I mean, it's not to say these guys aren't making good deals, but thus far their business is not profitable, but they've just barely started to scale. I don't understand the valuation. That's what I'm talking about with SoFi. I mean, Goldman Sachs has us selling about 2.5 billion this year, about 3 billion next year. I think the 3 could be conservative. I think 2.5 is right in the neighborhood. So if you give 5x current sales, you're talking about CARG should be at least 25 next 2 years. At least. Could be higher. You get 5x current sales, you're talking about 1250 plus. You get 5x forward sales, you're talking about $15 plus today. And those are conservative. I mean, you start to read these articles, these models, a lot of these guys have this company valued in the high 20s. It's very hard to define growth. I mean, look at multiples companies like Palantir get, CrowdStrike, and you say, well, they sell software, a totally different model. Well, what do you think Galileo is going to be doing? Sitting around with their thumb up their ass? No, they're going to be selling extremely high margin software products. Yeah, maybe it won't run on AI. Maybe it won't be as exciting. But the margins could be really, really high. I mean, Galileo is not huge, but what they do is a big opportunity, and there's not a lot of competition, and there's no competition I know of with a bank charter. And what the bears tell you is, well, don't give them anything for that because Capital One spends money themselves. Other companies spend money themselves on technology. He's making the point. He's like, they're spending billions of dollars. They could save that money. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't need 10 different financial companies that aren't technology, aren't software companies building this code and building all this stuff from the ground up. It doesn't make any sense. They're not putting SoFi in some huge privileged position vis-a-vis Galileo. SoFi, if anything, is like a beta tester for these companies, dialing this stuff in, getting it just perfect for these other stupid head customers. Oh, so like people, I'm talking to people because I've been left behind. Have you ever seen those movies where they're like scuba diving, some couple on their honeymoon, probably a fit couple, probably they all have abs. She's a lawyer, she's an environmental lawyer. She helps out the undocumented. He runs a big business. Oh, honey. They're a power couple. But for some reason, they're scuba diving. The fucking boat driver, he's had a couple of too many rum punches. He just boats off, fucking leaves them there. Sharks are circling around in the middle of the fucking ocean. You've been left behind. I completely forgot where I was going with that. But I think I was talking about the valuation, I was talking about legacy banks. What the hell was I talking about? Let me go to the comments. I have absolutely no idea what's going on. What's going on right now? Where are we? I feel like David after dentist. So we said Javier. We talked to barbecue. We said it once again to Rodolfo. We had German pound cake in the house. We, of course, greeted the lovely Princess J. Hey, all good here. Hope you're great. Yeah, what's going on, Rodolfo? Everything's good. I'm just, can't sleep and nobody wants to hear me. So I'm talking to you guys. No, just trying to create a little content. Just creating a little content, because it's either this or I'll just be wasting time. I'll just be watching stupid things, reading stupid things. So figure at least do something semi-productive and talk to you idiots. Princess J just has a lot of good ideas. Just have to listen to her. That's the key. That's key when people have good ideas. You have to listen to them. Otherwise, their good ideas just, don't work. That brings me to a quote by Anthony Noto, actually. SoFi CEOs, this is interesting. This is kind of very Elon Musk-ish. One of our core values at SoFi is to iterate, learn. If you don't have a culture of iterating and learning, you'll never drive innovation. You'll just have a bunch of ideas that fail. If you know your business needs to get from A to B, you can't be the kind of person that just gives up on that solution, decides to create another problem, create another pathway. Noto's an army guy. He was top of his class, not in some kind of bullshit finance, fucktard, fuck all, cheap suit, dine and dash, country club, golf hustler, shoe shine boy, truck stop all-star. None of that. Mechanical engineering, top of his class. I highly encourage you to read this interview. I've read most of it. I've skimmed it, but he talks about how do his core values, how does the way he actually thinks as an engineer, how does that apply to finance? Because they asked him, they're like, you never took a finance class in your life until you got to graduate school here at Wharton. He's like, yeah, he goes, I understood stocks. I understood finance. I understood how to value companies. How to value companies, a little bit of a shake in there. How to value companies through incredible distraction. How to value companies through someone dancing. Different things like that Anthony Noto's faced throughout his career, and I know you have as well. Once again, shout out to the great Princess J. But in any case, guys, this ain't easy, but it's necessary, to quote the great, I think, KRS-One. I think he said pimping ain't easy, but it's necessary. Anyway, guys, I completely always forget what I'm talking about because I have the attention span of a hamster on crack. But Noto's talking about how his thought process, I think, is completely different from most CEOs, how he sees problems, how he sees difficulties, how he's completely at ease in adverse conditions, how he sees opportunity in struggle, in, where others would probably give up, this guy won't give up. I mean, not only top of his class, military academy, mechanical engineering, also Army Ranger. I mean, how many CEOs do you know of that are Army Rangers? I'm sure they're out there, but I don't know of any. I mean, I'm a lazy, fat, middle-aged white guy on a couch in Southern California, about the furthest thing from an Army Ranger you get. Ugh. I'm like a Twinkie Ranger. Like a Hostess cupcake, maybe with a little army man on it, but that's about it. Anyway, guys, this is a good interview. I highly encourage you to read it. But this is what we're talking about: repetition. Solve the problem. This is talk from coding. It's just interesting the way Noto talks, the way he thinks. You can go through this. They have good pictures of Noto that I'll be using in some future thumbnails. For the first time in the history of banking, we are on the precipice of being able to force big incumbent banks to innovate. That's what I'm talking about with the investment. Why are they making that huge investment? Gary Jerkoff, you big bullum-headed freak. They're making the investment because these fin turds are forcing them to. You think big banks are going to do anything for the good of their client? They've had this sort of functional monopoly on retail banking, investment banking, just a few companies, just a handful for decades and decades and decades have been consolidating. Too big to fail. Too big for a sale. These are like their own countries, these big financial institutions. They don't change. They change at glacial speed. They turn like the Titanic. By the time you see the iceberg, it's too fucking late because you're slow to adapt. Now, of course, SoFi and these companies aren't going to put JP Morgan or anybody out of business. JP Morgan's a great company and make a ton of money. But SoFi is taking market share from these companies in the businesses they operate in. Now, they're just getting started in investment banking, IPOs, all this other stuff. Obviously, Robinhood has a lot of exciting things going on with futures. By the way, congratulations, Tanner. I got an interview I saw at, I guess it was like the Robinhood conference with their CEO. It's pretty cool. I don't know where the conference was. Like the graphics and stuff looked a little bit bootleg, but still, that was pretty awesome. It was a good interview. I mean, I can't stand that guy, but his little stupid soul patch, it just looks like, I don't know. Looks like some kind of skis ball at a bar or something. Not Tanner, but Vlad. I don't know. Maybe I'm just bitter because I didn't. But I was talking about, I don't want you guys to get left behind. Like that beautiful honeymooning couple that looks like models, but they're actually executives. What happens with these stocks, guys? You go, okay, it's run up 36%. I don't want to buy right now. I don't want to chase. Okay, fine. And you set a point where you buy. You say, I'll buy at 6. Well, you're not going to get 6, I don't think. I'll buy at 8. Okay, institutions were just buying like Kitty Woods was buying high 7s, low 8s. I don't think you're going to get 8. Maybe institutions can get you to 9 after the ER. That's what options are saying. Maybe they can get you to 9. If you get 9, take 9 and run. Take 9 and keister it. Put it where the sun don't shine. Save it for later. Because 9 is still way below the SPAC price. 10% below the SPAC price, guys. You're getting a huge discount over where a lot of institutions bought the stock at those levels. And people say, should I buy at 10.50? Because that's the only place I can buy today. I can't buy at 9 today. I can't buy at 6 today. I don't have to buy at 15 today. The only decision I could make today is buy, sell, or do nothing. I don't want to sell the stock here because I think it's going higher after the ER. I could be wrong. Options are telling me I'm wrong. Logic's telling me I'm wrong. This thing usually sells off after the ER. But what's a girl to do? Gotta trust my women's intuition. What I don't want to see is people sitting here, like I hear with Tesla, I hear people like why they don't want to miss NIO because, I think there's some characteristics of Tesla. I think there's, I'm not a guy who's, going to make that like tattooed chef idiotic remark and say SoFi is the next Tesla, because it's just completely unrelated. But I see innovative thinking. I see completely out of the box thinking applied to a completely in the box industry. That's what I really like about SoFi. They're not reinventing the wheel at all. They're just taking something that's been very, very profitable for eons, and they're just making it better, making it more efficient, doing it with no real estate, doing it with a lot less people, doing it with AI, doing it with algorithms, doing it with windbreakers, doing it with adjusted EBITDA. See those mud flaps bankers do it with adjusted EBITDA. Oh, that's a hoot. Anyway, guys, I strongly encourage you to read this article if you're a SoFi investor. It probably won't change your opinion of Anthony Noto. You probably have a high opinion of him already, but he's way better without that canned 3-minute situation where he has to get out, those answers that he's prepared. Like if you saw him with like Kathy Wood for an hour, or you hear this interview, or you hear some of the hours where he has time to sort of develop a thought, God forbid, give you something a little bit more than a soundbite, he comes across, more and more impressive. Seeing what the shorts are doing in terms of the aggregate short volume ratio. So what I hate to keep losing my train of thought, but like with Palantir, guys, I was in the stock low at like $8, and I sold most of my shares after 17. I'm like, hey, I'm up 115%. Like, how good? I can't be greedy. I have to take profits. Going to pull back. Now Palantir is what, 42? I got left behind. I was a beautiful newlywed woman, the beautiful environmental lawyer, with a head for business and a body for sin. My husband, Blake, was the CEO of his own business. He made car care products. I don't know. Whatever the fuck he did. The point is, we're about to get eaten by sharks because we got left behind. The bottom line is, I don't know where SoFi is going to be next February. It might be at 15. It might be at 7. But I firmly believe in 5 years, the stock's going to be dramatically higher. And you're going to be kicking yourself if you got left behind because the stock ran away from you and you never bought it because you were waiting for a pullback that just didn't come. Eventually, the stock has to go up from 10. It's gone to 30, almost 33 times, been, kicked back down under 10 for the last 2.5, going on 3 years. The fundamentals, what the company's accomplished, the execution, the business model, the trajectory of EPS says the stock should be worth more. I mean, Morningstar fair value at $14. These DCF models, you see 14, 19. You see that range. I saw the valuation the guy did using Peter Lynch's model, using his own assumptions, conservative assumptions. He had like 19, more aggressive assumptions. He had 28. I'm no expert on DCF models. I'm really no expert on anything other than smoking meat. You need some meat smoked, I'm your guy. He's like, hey, Daddy, I think I broke my arm. Oh, that's okay, Dad. You'll just get a little bit of smoke on it there. You'll just be fine. Like, oh, I need to know how to make some cookies for my class bake sales. Oh, just get some smoke on it. Oh, yeah, get a little bit of smoke on it. I have a character. He's a guy from Louisiana who solves all his problems by getting a little smoke on it. You're tenderize that problem. I'm having some problems. I'm arguing with my wife. Oh, that's no problem. Just get a little bit of smoke on it there. You're going to be just fine. So yeah, that character can be shelved. Nothing really going on there. Anyway, guys, welcome and hello. We've got Heirloom Cedar, Cleon, Crumpalias, Hey DD, what's going on? We got Try to Travel, top content by the Shartmaster, dude. My content is fucking terrible. We got Brennan, Foundation is being built in the 10s. You got that right, Brennan. You got Steve in the mountains. Who did Noto's new windbreaker in that interview? I have no idea, man. Noto's not consulting me on anything anymore. He never even calls me. Never even sends me a birthday present. Papa, if you're listening, I miss you. It's a big warning sign when your dad goes out for a pack of cigarettes and he's never smoked in his life. Like, hi, I tell your mom I went out for a pack of cigarettes. I'm like, but Dad, Papa Noto, you don't smoke. He's like, bye. That was 47 years ago, guys. I've seen him since. If I knew the song from Heidi, I would sing it now. What's up, Oleg? Don't hit that thumbs up, buddy. It's going to be a big problem. You're going to get a computer virus. It's going to be horrible. No, thanks, man. Steve Shreve, what's the next SoFi? Man, I'm in a lot of stocks. I'm in right now. I know everybody's going to laugh at me and think it's a turd, but I think Neo's going to go to 5 from 5 to 15 warp speed. That's my opinion. I might be crazy. Surely you must be crazy. I am not crazy, and don't call me Shirley. What's the next SoFi? I don't know. SoFi is a unique bird. I mean, SoFi is a unique company. Noto's a unique guy. Timing is everything. You know, I think it was Ricardo Montalban who said that timing is everything. And the fact that they got the bank charter, you guys read the article about the FDIC and how they're trying to get rid of these, fintech pseudo banks, zombie banks, rent a charter. They want to know who actually belongs to that money. They want the bank with the charter to be tracking who belongs to that money, dollar for dollar, day for day. Not some, bullshit, account for the entire fin turd. So only a few of us turds here. Welcome and hello, Joy. How are you? Haven't seen in a while. The great Joy Luna, realtor to the stars. If you want to list your property and it's above $10 million, contact Joy Luna. We have Bread. Please get Noto on the channel. I have invited Noto on the channel and to force him to take a paternity test, and he has not shown up. He always tells me he has to get his hair styled, hair trimmed. So, I don't know. We got Mopar for life. Good to see you. Go Raiders. I agree. We watched the Raiders take a absolutely pathetic beating to the mediocre LA Rams. Gardner Minshew. I don't know. It's a fun name to say, but it's not a fun game to watch when he's your quarterback because, dude, I don't know, man. He looks like a guy who could sell you a used car. He looks tiny out there. He has no arm strength. He's always off balance. He's falling all over himself. He makes horrible decisions trying to shot put the ball. It's an ugly game. I mean, they look pretty good in some other games, but I saw him twice at SoFi getting rolled by the Chargers and now getting beat up by the Rams. And let me tell you, it wasn't a pretty sight, Mopar for life. But I'm still Raider Nation. I'm still there for life, man. So you're Mopar for life. I'm Uncle Dan, the Raider fan for life. Yeah, SoFi Insider Sell. Don't worry too much about that, Snoop-a-loop. That was Kelly Keogh, Executive Vice President. She sold 9,000 some shares. She still has 160,000. So sold 100,000. Hey, listen, stock's been hanging around in the doldrums for 2.5 years. I can't blame her for selling. What is that? 6-7% of her shares on the spikes. These people are young; they have all their net worth in their stock because they work for the company. So it'd be kind of foolish not to sell some of the stock and diversify. Shouldn't really be upset if they don't do that and they keep all their money, all their net worth in SoFi. Then you should be worried. That's not smart. I don't care what stock it is. That's not smart. I don't care if you work there. It's not smart. Galileo plus the bank charter. That's the secret sauce, DVD. That's what people aren't getting. Like they're like, okay, somebody else could provide the technology for a bank, but see, then fintech. Then you need 3 pieces. That's what that article, I'll relink to that article I was talking about with the FDIC, a couple of different articles I read. Then you need 3 pieces. You need the host bank, you need the fintech who's offering pseudo banking services, and then you need a company in the middle to facilitate moving money back and forth between the two and compliance between the two. It's extremely complex. It's extremely expensive. SoFi can do it all in-house. There's not only very few other finturds with a bank charter, there's no other finturds that have something like Galileo and a bank charter where they can say, hey, we can offer you everything. And you don't have to go anywhere else. And you're not going to have any compliance issues. Because there's no middleman. There's no room for mistakes. We got Derek White over there. Breaking necks, writing checks, or cashing checks, however the phrase goes, sorry. No, sorry, that was like a Sandy Lyle impression from Along Came Polly. Vlad's cool with me. What's going on? We got Anthony Noto's here. What's going on, Lisa? All our night owls are here. We got Vlad, Miami. Vlad's in Miami. We got Brennan. No one likes Vlad. Yeah, but I mean, hey, he's killing it. So what are you going to do? Yeah, David Chiaverini loves Vlad. Remember to tickle the balls. Jeffrey Adelson, Midwest Values, looking to buy the dip. Todd Shreve, who screwed the retail traders at the behest of Citadel? Vlad screwed well, yeah, we all know, we all saw the movie, Seth Rogen. It's really annoying when people say I look like Seth Rogen. I won't get into the lady who tried, oh my God. It's so bad. I want to say it. Some lady, some really nice lady, nice like business suit, paid me a compliment, leaned over at lunch, said, "Oh, I want to tell you, you look just like Jelly Roll." I'm like, what? Talk about a backhanded slap in the face. I mean, I have nothing against Jelly Roll. The guy's huge. He's got tatted up face. I don't know, man. I wasn't sure it was a compliment. Just so complimentary. Look like Jelly Roll. I was trying to say, like, just anybody famous, it's not good. Like, hey, oh, wow, you look just like Dom DeLuise. Like, a huge liver spot on your face. Like, well, I guess he was famous, so that's great. Oh, fuck me. Anyway, so smooth, it's criminal. Jeff, you Andrew need to chill. I agree with you and Poco Moss about Sofa. Thanks, Santran. I appreciate it. Hope you disagree with me about some other stuff. Robert Sella, Snoop, mind your business, bro. Great point. 5 years, you'll be left behind to big gains with same with Neo. Yeah, Thomas Merrill, completely agree. So that's what I'm trying to say is, like, if you bought SoFi at 450, great. If you bought SoFi at 6, great. But if you really believe the stock is worth, 14, 15 or more now, or 19, as many do now, and you think it's going to get up there where Anthony Noto needs it to be to 35 to exercise his options, don't worry too much if you buy at 9 or 10. Because while you're worrying about $1, that's like with Palantir. If you're worrying about $1, you might have missed out on another $40 in gains. If you believe that much in the company, buy the stock. I believe in being conservative with entry points, in not chasing big rallies. But this is unique because this stock has been so artificially suppressed for so long, been shorted. Its run has to come if it keeps executing. You don't get a company growth. The CAGR of 15 is a myth. It's a vapor. It's like finding Bigfoot. It's like Bobo. Clans of Bigfoot often get together for celebratory meals when one of the young passes into adulthood. Like, dude, no one's ever seen a Bigfoot. Nobody's ever got one hair for one strand of DNA. Nobody's ever got one real picture. None of that. Despite these being densely populated all over the entire world. And despite them having even no evidence whatsoever of the existence of this species, they have an intimate picture of their cultural and family lives, of how they interact. Like, when one of the Bigfoots dies, they say Yahweh, and the other Bigfoots set it adrift in a river. Like, what in God's name are you talking about? What in God's name is he talking about? What is God's name am I talking about? Please chill, Robert. Do we have somebody? Are you guys getting out of hand in the comments? I don't have any moderators here. I have to ban you guys myself. Take it easy, guys. There's room for all viewpoints, even with all your stupid made-up things. Morning, DD. Just bought me a Barber windbreaker in support of the great Noto. Nice, PC. How you doing, Paul Clark? Been a while since I've seen you. Our main man in terms of road biking over in Great Britain. That's the great Paul Clark. Good to see you again, my friend. SoFi will run up after the ER this time. I actually agree with you. I think it's going to move up to 1360, Santran. I completely agree with you. We got Andrew Schmidt. Jeff downgraded the stock, then bought the dip. Creepy. Well, I mean, yeah, he's not the boss over there. So, yeah, dude. Jeffrey Adelson, you are smooth, and the bolts in your neck barely show around that business suit. Guy looks like he was some kind of like state wrestling champion or something. They just brought him into the firm as a ringer. Jeff, you and Andrew need to chill. Agree with Poco Moss about SoFi. Still mind your business. Okay, you guys are joking. Leave the state, Vlad. After seeing LC's earnings, I'm stoked. I think SoFi is going to hit 12 next week. I think they're going to hit 1360 before the end of the year, maybe even 1440. Let's see. It's Tevis Noto. Let's go. I'm currently 18.3 stone. Can you cut me a break? Todd, I can get you in at half price if we can verify that weight. But you could also gain weight, get yourself up 22 stone, get yourself a free course. It's not easy, but we got C-Bar Engineering, SMR Nuclear. We got Brennan, is SoFi. Oh, good to see you, by the way, C-Bar. We got, is SoFi a household name at this point? I mean, their organic brand recognition is only like 10%, but certainly in LA, it's a household name. I think they're well on their way. I think it's pretty well known. I think the Olympics coming up will help. Every year it picks up more and more. Picking up all the pantsuit ladies, absolutely not. Once you have a princess, you stop looking, guys. That's a little secret for you. Noodle Swag, none. Imran Mujheed, funniest U-turder. I am the funniest U-turder. That is true. Lending Club was up 8% after hours. Yeah, Lending Club had a really nice ER. I noticed that. I hadn't had time to actually get into it, but once I saw the pop, I knew it must have been pretty good. So good night, guys. Got to go. Hey, thanks. Who was that? Sorry, it's moving a little bit fast. Good night, Rodolfo. Good night, buddy. Imran Mahid. What about Brookfield? I don't know. Do they have earnings? Are you talking about the pipeline company? Yeah, actually, I think I own some of that. James Turner, finally rewarded for my hard work and dedication to weight gain. I've been working for years. Something of the big guys. Yeah. I mean, really, what do you get, guys? If you're a big man, you get, stuffed in an airplane seat. They throw some peanuts at you. They laugh at you. You don't fit anywhere. Finally, with the Tebedaki method, we have something designed specifically for us so that we can make much more off our investments. Finally get that first class seat so we don't feel like, an elephant riding a tricycle. Don't get me going on airplane restrooms, guys. Airplane restroom essentially what it must be like if you get stuffed inside of a locker in high school. I can't even breathe in there. Oh, my breath. Oh. If I exhale, I'm going to get wedged in that restroom. That high-powered flush is going to expel. Vodka, I expelled from the toilet. And then off to the right side, it's Cleveland. That's Cleveland. Anyway, guys, this whole broadcast has been largely pointless, but I want to get some content out there. I want to throw some content out there. It's only retail right now that's selling the most, while market makers, yeah, of course. I mean, it's accumulation. If you're long like me, price doesn't matter, just DCA. I think we're at a paradigm shift if we hit Noto's number. Yeah, I mean, Jay, you're absolutely right. And we're not just going to hit his numbers 55 to 80. You're going to see a big guidance raise here. You're going to see a big guidance raise. There's all kinds of stuff that's not in that guidance. It's not just like the loan platform that they're laying off with the fees, the Fortress deal. It's not just that. It's like business banking itself. They're going to get that before 2026. Full option suite, complete overhaul of the finance trading platform. That's going to come before 2026. You're going to have a bunch of other products that are going to come online that aren't in guidance. They're going to destroy that 80 cents. I'm looking for at least $1 in 2026. This company should be worth at least $25 at that point. Because you have to understand it, $1 EPS versus 25 doesn't sound that impressive, but think about how fast EPS would be growing. If EPS is just like 10 cents this year, which is what analysts are looking for, 10, 11, whatever, and then you get to $1 in just 2 years, you're going to have 10x EPS in 2 years. So then where does that put you vis-a-vis GARP? Growth at a reasonable price. Because if you're actually getting that type of gains, then Galileo is working. The fee-based income is coming. okay, then you should be getting a much higher multiple. And Noto knows that's what is going to happen. That's why he keeps loading. Even though he already has millions and millions and millions of shares, he keeps loading the dips. Why do you think he does that? Because he's dumb, he's obstinate, he wants to bankrupt his family? No, because he knows what he owns. He knows what he's the CEO of. He knows how special this is going to be once this model kicks in. Once it is this institutional stuff that is the business banking in addition to the consumer wheel. And it's going to cross over because you're going to have, the high value student loan people owning their own businesses, professional. It's going to bring their small business and their personal together. You're going to have two wheels working like an infinity symbol that's basically printing money. Don't people see it? Don't people see the business model? You can increase customers, members, revenues tremendously without increasing costs. The revenues come to the bottom line as profit. Noto knows this. That's why they asked Lapointe, like, how can you possibly get to these 80-cent numbers? He's like, well, by the way, nothing's even in that guidance. That's just what we're doing now. We're going to get there with just what we have now. And we have all kinds of things in the pipeline. Nobody hears that. He said it very directly. That's what I don't get. I don't get why people think it's impossible, why they don't see the math. They're these big clients that are coming on with Galileo. Those are definitely going to come on the books by 2026. Maybe sooner. How much are they going to be contributing? What are those margins going to be? We don't know because we don't know what Galileo is at scale. We have no idea what Galileo is at scale. Galileo at scale could be something incredible. That's even way more valuable than SoFi the bank. We just don't know. We don't know the synergy. Have you bothered to look into who this Derek White guy is and why he took this job at this little podunk company? What if Galileo sees the same growth trajectory that SoFi proper has seen? When Noto got there like 7 years ago, 7 years ago, they were doing $300 million in revenue. Next year, they should do $3 billion. They're going to 10x revenue. 7-8 years. It's excellent, guys. Excellent. I can only imagine how you guys must be feeling at this point. The un poco fatigue must be setting in and just overwhelming like a velvet fog. Anyway, let's see if there's any other idiotic comments to address. DBL Belts, Imran Mahid, they own everything, real assets. Yeah, no, Brookfield's a great company. We did have a Form 4 today. Yeah, that was the sale. That was what's her name, Kelly, selling the 10,000 shares. Over 3,000 yesterday since it was been in SoFi, so it was 24 shares. Nice, man. Way to DCA down. Yeah, that's a lot of shares you bought yesterday. I hope you got them with the lows. Yeah, I think you did well. Again, if you have a big position and it depends, you DCAing down, DCA averaging up. It depends what you want to do. I mean, I wouldn't put all my eggs in this basket, but I still believe there's a lot of upside here. At least probably 25% more this year, in my opinion. Because I think 2025, this was supposed to be the transition year. Next year is going to be the year everything, you see that it works. EPS starts to go way, way up. And then by 2026, you are left behind. It's too late. It's too late. Anyway, guys, that's all I had for you. I want to just get a quick check of the futures, just see where we're at. Yeah, futures are looking really good. Tesla surges after earnings, profit beat, NASDAQ up 100 points on the futures. Let's see, anything else interesting? but Berkshire sold 56% of its Apple stock and is piling into prominent reversal stock. Yeah, Berkshire seems a little bit bearish, but they're might be too far out of the curve. Kitty Woods bought another stock. Dow Jones dives. Trump stock triples. Retakes key level. Tesla falls with earnings. That was a little bit earlier, so that was not prescient. Seeking at least 8% dividend. So yeah. So anyway, futures look pretty good right now. We'll just have to see. There's a lot of big earnings on deck coming up, like this week and next week. So tech might be a little bit shaky. Tesla, very good sign. Their margins held up and stuff like that. So far we have, what do we have? We have Thursday, Friday, and Monday. And then I guess we report pre-bell on Tuesday. So 3 trading days left for these shorts to sort of play musical chairs and, decide if they want to ride this wave. But a lot of these guys shorted from 680 to 720. They've already been slaughtered. And like I said, MaxPain says, they're going to sell it off a little bit, 9 after the ER. I'm not sure I buy it. They might want to do that, but if bigger institutions want to push it up, they have more money, they have more motivation, they're going to push those little guys around. And I know Citadel's a big company, and Citadel, makes markets, and Citadel, can control the price of a stock and short stocks and do what they're going to do. But, I don't care who you are, you can't swim against a current that's too strong, because you're going to drown. It's like, okay, you have a ton of money, you can lose more because SoFi is not going anywhere. That's the point. You were wrong about this company. They weren't wrong about GameStop. It was it was dying. It was losing. SoFi, they're wrong. They're like, oh, it's a SPAC. It's bad. Student loans. It's going to go bankrupt. What are they going to do? It's like, Noto is just too good. Noto's too good. Their management team's too good, too nimble. And these bears were wrong, and they got on the wrong side of the trade. They've been on the wrong side ever since. Now, they have made a ton of money killing options and shorting and all this other stuff. But long term, they're on the wrong side of the stock. And eventually, you have to pay your bill. Longs were patient. There's a big opportunity cost of sticking with it, but I don't think 10 is the upper limit by any stretch of the imagination. I think you have to get closer to 15 because, the stock was held so low for so long. Often it'll overshoot, the sort of natural equilibrium, the true value. If the true value is, 1360, it might shoot up to 16 or 17 and then pull back. Time will tell. Anyway, guys, that's the SoFi stock. Appreciate you, Imran, Mahid. I appreciate you, Mopar for life. Jay Abrams. I appreciate you, James Turner. Rodolfo, who left us. Mopar, Shane, Brennan, Seabar, Todd, Tevis, Shane. That's not the real Tevis, I don't think. But Clap My Dog, Vlad. I know it's not the real Vlad. But anyway, all you guys, appreciate you watching. Thank you. Hope you guys have a great night. We'll have to see what she does in the morning. I think honestly, the stock could hit. I know this is just stupid, but I think it could hit close to $11 tomorrow. Time will tell. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. It's Un Poco Mas. It's Danny Deals. We'll talk to you later. Have a good night. Peace. I'm out.